102 Retrievers by Christine Vaught. Once upon a time, we bought a lively, playful male dog at the pet store. He was a grown golden retriever. They are large dogs that are friendly, like being in the water, and like to fetch sticks. We named the dog Frisky. He loved us and our huge, happy home, but he was lonely. Then we bought a grown dog named Lovey, a lovely lady. She was also a golden retriever. Our names are Steve and Christine. This story is about 100 tiny golden retrievers that Steve and I adopted. At first the story is sad, and then the rest is happy. We had heard that the county had recently closed a golden retriever puppy mill where they raised dogs to be sold. The owner did mean things to the puppies. All 100 of the puppies had been kept in tiny cages since their birth. They were not given much to eat. The puppies had no chance to run around and play, dig holes in the grass, or fetch sticks from a pond. The puppies told a man who visited the puppy mill that they were being treated very badly. The man called the animal shelter. The puppies were taken out of the puppy mill right away and put into the animal shelter. The puppy mill was closed, and the mean owner was put in jail. Frisky and Lovey wanted to have some puppies. Steve called the animal shelter to see what they had. They only had a group of 100 puppies who had come from the puppy mill. The shelter worker said that the puppies were tiny because they had been crowded in their little cages. They had not been given much to eat. The puppies had to stay together as they really needed each other's love so that they could grow to be normal dogs. My husband Steve is an animal doctor, and I am a nurse. We knew of the puppies' need to stay together, and we loved them right away, so we adopted all 100 of them. We planned a vacation to sunny Santa Cruz, California. Having been locked in the cages all of their lives, we felt the change in scenery, a chance to have fun, and relaxation on the beach would help the puppies grow to be healthy dogs. Mainly, though, they needed love. To get ready for the trip, the tiny puppies built a ramp with chopsticks so that they could climb up onto the back shelf of our huge car. Many of the puppies drug 3 pink dishpans up onto the back shelf of the car, as they would be their swimming pools until we got to Santa Cruz. They used some flat wooden sticks as surfboards. They made ladders with chopsticks. Then they built shelves along the side windows of the car so that they could look at the scenery. The tiny puppies talked to our white pretty rabbit named Rosebud. She always wore a pink rose in her hair. They needed her help to get ready for the trip. She hopped to the fabric store. She bought some colorful terry cloth fabric with which to make beach towels. She set up a sewing project with the female puppies in order to make the beach towels. Being a smart rabbit, Rosebud went online and ordered the sunglasses meant for dogs. They were brightly colored and had funny shapes so that the puppies could tell them apart. The puppies collected some recycled paper and folded it into hats. Early in the morning of our trip, Steve, Frisky, Lovey, and I got into the car. The puppies excitedly piled into the back. Rosebud wiggled her nose and hopped in. Some of them quickly climbed up to their swimming area. They put on their paper hats and sunglasses. Many puppies climbed up the ladders to the shelves on the sides of the car. Others took naps. The puppies on the back shelf jumped for joy when Steve drove over a bump in the road. They could practice surfing on their surfboards. They shouted, "Cowabunga! Surf's up!" All of us were very happy when we reached our vacation home in Santa Cruz, California. It is known for its golden beaches, surfing, rides at the boardwalk, and the Riverside Cafe. They shouted, "Cowabunga! Surf's up!" We stayed in a charming, cozy cottage called Seabright, which was near the beach. The puppies arose early the next day to a dense fog, the scent of fish, and the sound of the roaring waves. Realizing it was too cool to go surfing, they scurried down the steep stairs to the seashore to collect a wide selection of seashells. After they got home, I saw that they were using our toothbrushes to clean their seashells. As usual, the fog burned off by late morning. With excitement, the dogs scurried off to the beach. Rosebud hopped along with them. We walked closely behind. The puppies were grateful to have used the dishpans in the car, where they practiced surfing. Their eyes widened. These waves were huge. We all sang Surfing USA, and then the puppies raced into the water. They only rode the smaller waves. Pretty soon, they learned more about surfing and were shouting, "Cowabunga! Surf's up!" Steve was the lifeguard. Lovey, Rosebud, and I sat on the beach and knit Christmas stockings for the puppies. We made them dog-sized, as the puppies would be bigger by Christmas. That evening we went to the Riverside Cafe, known for its tender, juicy steak. A large red metal basket was hung there in order to carry people up and down the steep slope to the cafe. We brought along little seats that attached to the table because the puppies were too small to sit on regular chairs. Some puppies happily chewed their steak right away. Others put their tasty, tender morsels into doggy bags. They hid them behind buckets and barrels in the kitchen. They were more interested in riding the red basket than eating. They especially liked it when there were no people in the basket because they could run around and bark. When they went back to the cafe kitchen to get their doggy bags, they found that the ones that had been stored behind the baskets were gone. Oh well, they thought, they will get a steak at some other time, but probably won't get a ride in a red basket again. The next day, after sleeping in, we all went to the boardwalk. It was up above the beach. There was a long wooden walkway with games, rides, and food at the back of the walkway. Such wonders. There was pink, fluffy candy. There were funny mirrors that made the puppies look tall, fat, and squiggly. The best part was the roller coaster ride. They sat on the booster seats, which held them up so that they could see. Holding up their paws, they went up, down, and around. It was so exciting, they took another ride. Not wanting to leave, they were reminded by Steve that we have dog play equipment at our home in Salem, Oregon. They could build a roller coaster with their Lego. The next day, we headed back to Oregon. The puppies, Frisky and Lovey, happily barked a message to Steve, Rosebud, and me about all that we had done for them. They thanked us for their fun, relaxing, and scenic California vacation. Mainly, though, they thanked us for our love. We promised to take them back to Santa Cruz in the next year. Seeing them happy, we knew that they were growing to be normal dogs. It was now time to start dog school. On their way, they sang Surfing USA. Story by Christine Vaught, copyright 2012.